Dear students, today we are going to start the very first chapter of your history, that is, the rise of nationalism in Europe. Children, firstly, what is nationalism? It's a simple term, that is, a feeling of love, an affection, or a pride for your own country. And we will study about this concept of nationalism in Europe. So, before starting the chapter, you are having a picture, and this is a picture which is drawn by a painter or an artist whose name was Frederick Soriot. Frederick Soriot was belonging to France, and in the year of 1848, he had prepared this particular picture or a poster, which was the series of the four prints. And in this four prints, as this is a picture which is comprised of the four different prints there, and this picture is simply explaining about the new concept of democratic and social republic in the Europe. Meaning is that Frederick Soriot, he wanted to develop a new concept of democracy and social republic in the Europe, and this system was not at all existing in the Europe when Frederick Soriot had just painted this particular picture. Now, as the particular picture, what it says here, basically, firstly, Frederick Soriot, whatever the picture he has made, it was basically telling about the utopian society. Utopian society means this kind of the vision which he had, this kind of a thought, dream which he had. This was basically not existing in reality anywhere in the Europe. So this was only in his dreams. This was not the reality. So he has simply explained, or he has simply put his vision, his ideas, his thoughts in his picture, and he has simply said that this is a picture which is representing the democratic and social republic of the people of Europe. Now we will see firstly the four important parts which are given in this picture. Now children, you all can see that in this picture there is a long queue of the people. You can see that a long queue of people, they are marching towards an image or a statue. And what we find that the people of Europe, what it is showing here, that the people of Europe and America, it is your all men, women, people of the different age groups, of different social classes, they all are marching in a long queue, long train. And where are they marching? They are marching towards a statue, and this is the statue of a liberty. So they are marching towards the statue of a liberty. So this is the one thing, that a long queue is shown in the picture here, and this long queue is showing simply the different social class of the Europe. Then the second picture which we see, that there is a figure of a woman, and she is called as the Statue of Liberty. Now this female figure, that is a Statue of Liberty. Now what she is, how she is presented there, that she is carrying a torch of enlightenment. You can see that in her left hand, you can see there is a torch of enlightenment, and you can see in the right hand that she is carrying the charter of rights of man. So this way, now the people of the Europe, they are marching towards this statue, because she is basically the bearing a torch of enlightenment and also having the rights for the people. The people of the Europe, they are marching in a queue in front of her image, and they are paying the respect or the homage to her. Basically, as when this group of people are marching towards her at this time, now Soriot's utopian vision is simply reflected here, and the people of the world at that time, the people of the Europe, they were grouped in a different nations there. They were not having the concept presently, as you see that we are having your France, Germany, Italy, all these country, they were not having this kind of identity, they were not having this names at that time. So now that, so how the people will present themselves here? So they were simply going to show themselves as their own common flags, their national costumes there, and with this only, now this long train of the people, or the long chain or long queue of people, they all are marching towards the Statue of Liberty there. And in this we find here that the United States and Switzerland, which had already become a free nation, or they had become a nation state there, they have already passed there, they are carrying the pass there. And after this you can see there is a France, which is basically carrying a flag which is a tricolor here, and it is reaching in front of the Statue of Liberty. So you can see that the France carrying with the tricolor flag is reaching in front of the Statue of Liberty. You know, children, that the France is a country which has totally shaken the whole Europe there. When the French Revolution occurred in the France there, it was the first nation which has put a question mark on the rule of a king. It was the nation which was firstly declared as a republic. So what we find is that the first country which is paying the homage or respect to the that enlightened lady here, this is your France there, carrying a tricolor flag. After this, now after the France here, we find that the people of Germany, they are bearing the black, red and the golden color flag. They are just behind the France there. And after this, at this time, Soru, as basically he created this image, as the German people did not exist as a united nation. So United Nation there. And after this we see that there is a sequence of all the other countries, they are falling to the German people. They are the people of Austria, the kingdom of the two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Russia, Hungary, means all these countries are in the queue there. And then we see that this is the second picture. After this you can see just where the long train of chain you are seeing. At the bottom of the picture you can see there are some pieces of the papers are there. Some pieces of papers which you can see just below that, at the bottom of the picture you can see the pieces are there of the paper, or it is simply showing the destruction of your monarchy. This is simply showing the end of your monarchy there, or the absolute power which was there, means the France which was having the power of the monarch over there, the monarchical government there, which was totally centralized, which was having the military in its control, which was very repressive there. When that government downfall is showing in the third image, and the third image of the third print there. And the fourth one you can see at the top, there is Jesus Christ, and beside the Jesus Christ you can see, means in the heaven you are having the angels and all that. And what they are doing, that these angels from the heaven, that is above the Christ, from the heavens above the Christ, saints, angels, they all are looking at this scene, that what is happening on the earth there in the Europe. So they are simply gazing upon the scene there, and then they are just blessing to the people who are standing in long queue, marching in front of the Statue of Liberty there, asking for their own rights there. Now what is, as it was basically an imaginary picture which the Soru had given, but in reality, why later on it has come into reality? It was an imagination at that time when he had painted this, but later on it has become a reality. So why this concept has come up here? Basically what we see, that during the 19th century this concept of nationalism was immersed, and you all have studied here that how due to the French Revolution the whole mindset of the Europe was changed, the whole politics of Europe was changed. So the people mentality, people way of dealing with the politics, that was totally changed there, and they were willing to create a nation for themselves instead of a multinational dynastic empires of the Europe. What does mean here? that is a multinational dynastic. Why they want a nation state? Children, you can understand it very easily that what is a nation. As I told you, that Europe was the continent where the number of the countries which you are seeing at the present time here, known as your England, Poland, your Hungary, your Russia, all these countries which you just see, find in the Europe here, they all were not having the concept of a nation. Nation means a country. They were not a country at all. What were they basically? As you have also studied in our country also, India was a very big country. In the past also we were a huge nation. But what we find in our country also, we were not having a concept of a nation at that time. The concept of nation developed, or the concept of a nationalism developed in our country when the British advent, when the British came to India. Then only this feeling of patriotism, feeling of nationalism, that developed among the minds and the hearts of the Indians there. And before the British, what was the condition of India? That India was also divided into a number of kingdoms, and people of a certain kingdom, they were loyal, they were having a feeling of patriotism for their own kingdom there. You would have studied the various kingdoms there, like you have studied that in the Peshwas, Marathas there, Rajputanas there. So many ways India was also divided, and different kingdoms were there. Every kingdom was having its own ruler there. So that was the condition of India. India got united when the British came to India. Then when they all were suffer, all these kingdoms were suffering together with the policies of British there. Then they stood unitedly and they fought against the British Raj. Same is the situation in the Europe, that in the Europe also there were a number of the kingdoms, and these kingdoms were ruled by any of the dynasties there. So the concept of a nation was also not there, but this concept was developed for the first time from where? It is from your France. So in the France, when the people they revolted against the King Louis XVI, if you remember. So when they revolted against the King Louis XVI, after that only the French people, they thought that this is the responsibility, or this is a mission in their life, how to end the despotism from the Europe, how to end the rule of the king from the Europe. The mission of the France was to liberate the people of Europe from the rule of your king or the monarch system there, and just to create a nation. So this way the journey was begin in the your Europe there, for the creation of a nation, and the feeling of patriotism had started developing among all the minds and the hearts of the people of Europe there. So this way what we find finally, that during the 19th century, nationalism emerged as a force which brought about the political changes in the world, or especially in your Europe, and the nation state that emerged in the place of a multinational dynastic empires of the Europe there. So this is all about your picture which was given of the Soryu there. Now in the next we will be studying that the France, which was basically considered as a revolutionary country in the Europe, to bring a lot of changes in the entire political structure of the Europe there. So that we will discuss in the next. Thank you, children.